Hey guys, this is Robbie with Wheaton Arms again. Today we're going to talk about something that a lot of people have heard the term but are not familiar with what the actual action is. We're going to talk about squib loads today. A squib load is a round that either has no powder in the case or there's just a very minimal amount of powder in the case but not enough powder to exit the projectile from the muzzle. So we're going to shoot a little bit and then we're going to induce a squib load in the pistol and get some close-up video of it, show you guys what it sounds like, what it looks like, and that way you know the next time you're at the range, if you have a squib load, you'll know what to expect. Alright guys, today we're going to be using a Smith & Wesson M&P 9mm, and we're going to do a little bit of shooting here just to warm up and have a little fun. Got our eyes, got our ears, pistol. Now, if you do happen to have a squib load in your pistol, a couple of handy tools that you need to keep in your range bag are a hammer and a good solid punch. That way you'll be able to drive the bullet back out of the barrel and you can continue shooting, and the squib load won't end your range day. Okay, here we go. So now we're going to induce a squib load. We've got our 124 grain Montana Gold bullets loaded in some Federal brass here, and there's no powder in the case, just a primer. So we're going to load these up and we're going to shoot around just so you guys can see what happens when you do have a squib load. Okay, now if you heard the boom sound, almost like a mortar going off, that's the sound of a squib load when it happens in your pistol. All right, guys, we're going to induce another squib load from the other side, just to give you an idea of what happens here. You see. There again, you heard the pop, almost like a bottle top coming open. If you ever hear that sound, the first thing you want to do is immediately stop. You can see here, ejected the case. This case has got some black on it from where the case didn't seal in the chamber, and the powder and pressure came back around the case. If you've got just a little bit of powder in the case, it'll bowl smoke out of the ejection port, almost like you had a case head separation. And if you can see here inside the case how black it is inside there, instead of a nice clean burn like you would normally see with a normal round that's been fired and ejected, that's kind of what you have. Now we'll talk about removing the squib load. So chamber's empty here, magazine's out. What you want to do is you want to drop a punch down the bore of the pistol until it contacts the bullet. With the slide lock to the rear, take your hammer and tap on it until the bullet comes out. Now we'll lay our pistol back down, and here we have our projectile that was stuck in the barrel. As you can see, it's got a lot of soot on the bottom of it and around the cartridge, around the projectile itself. So what you want to make sure of, if you ever hear that popping sound when you're at the range shooting, you want to stop immediately. If you continue to shoot, if you rack the slide and there's enough powder in there to push the bullet far enough forward to where another round will chamber, and you chamber another round and send another round into the back of the round that's already in the barrel, it's going to blow your gun up. Best case scenario, you'll bulge the barrel and just totally lock the gun down. It won't cycle, it won't do anything anymore. Worst case scenario, you'll split the barrel. You'll get a lot of fragmentation. You'll get some stuff blown back in your face, and more than likely you'll end up with a trip to the hospital. There, I've got a couple more squib loads, so we'll go ahead and we'll fire these just to give you an idea again of what it sounds like when a squib load fires. I'm sure in that picture you could see in that little portion of video, you could see the smoke come out of the ejection port when that round fired. And with this one, you can see how black and sooty the case is that is a classic squib load. For anyone that's never saw one or always wondered what exactly a squib load was, that is a classic example of a squib load. There again, here's our projectile that we just knocked out of the bore. You can see the lands and grooves that have been cut into the bullet from where it went into the rifling. And like I said, this is just with a primer. So even with a primer, it has enough force to shove the bullet up into the lands. So if there's just a touch of powder in there, you can push the bullet far enough into the barrel to where it will chamber another round. And we have one more round, one more from this side, so you can kind of see what happens. Again, the classic popping sound. The smoked up case ejected from the gun. We'll take the pistol apart this time. That way you guys can actually see. There's the round stuck in the lands and grooves in the barrel. Now again, we'll drop our punch in the barrel. Tap it a few times, and out comes our bullet. Again, you can see the striations on the bullet itself from where it engraved in the lands and grooves in the pistol. Alright, so to finish off, we've got our squib load cleared out of our barrel. Here we'll double check just to make sure. Barrel's clear. We'll load up a magazine. Pistol's hot. Everything functions normally just like it should. So I hope this video helps you guys, and next time you're at the range, if you ever have a squib load, now you know what to look for, and know if you ever hear that sound while you're out shooting, you'll know to immediately stop and clear your pistol before you chamber another round, and hopefully one day it can help you save your gun. This is Robbie with Wheaton Arms. God bless America. God bless the Constitution.